Just persecution of innocent civilians? This question is at the heart of a heated debate that has emerged from recent statements made by Simon Ekpa and Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As tensions escalate between the Biafran independence movement and the Nigerian government, the consequences of their actions are becoming increasingly dire for the people in the region. Simon Ekpa, a prominent Biafran activist, recently issued a stark warning against the Nigerian government's tactics. He criticized the government for responding to attacks on their reintegrated terrorist forces by arresting and killing innocent men, women, and young boys. Ekpa called for resistance against this system, urging Biafrans to stay vigilant and avoid interactions with security forces, whom he labeled as terrorists. Ekpa's message highlights a profound mistrust of the Nigerian military and police, particularly in Biafra land. He announced a ban on all checkpoints in the region, asserting that the Biafra government would neutralize any Nigerian armory within their territory.
The Biafra government, if they don't understand what government is all about, Biafra government is completely in charge of Biafra land. The de facto government and the government in exile controls the entire Biafra territory. And for that reason, we ban every checkpoint. And when we continue to say, when we ban checkpoint, stay away from checkpoint, because the day it will happen, nobody will tell you. Anybody crying today that they kill military in Aba...
President Tinubu has argued that Kanu's incarceration has become a pretext for criminal elements to perpetuate violence in the southeast. He suggested that releasing Kanu could remove this justification and help reduce the violence. The president also called for security agencies to target those advocating for stay-at-home protests, labeling their actions as treasonous. This stance underscores the government's determination to maintain order, but it also raises concerns about suppressing legitimate expressions of dissent. Balancing security and civil liberties remains a delicate task. The Biafran conflict is not just a regional issue, but part of a broader pattern of secessionist movements and ethnic conflicts across Africa. The international community watches closely, recognizing the potential implications for regional stability. How Nigeria handles this crisis could offer lessons for other nations facing similar challenges. For ordinary Biafrans, the ongoing conflict disrupts daily life, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. The need for inclusive dialogue and a comprehensive approach to peace and reconciliation is more urgent than ever. This involves addressing political, economic, and cultural grievances while dismantling criminal networks that thrive on instability. Resolving the Biafran conflict requires a nuanced strategy that respects the rights and aspirations of all parties involved. Ensuring political representation, economic development, and cultural recognition for Biafrans within a unified Nigeria is essential. Accountability for those exploiting the situation for personal gain, whether they are criminals, corrupt officials, or external actors, is also crucial. As we delve deeper into the Biafran conflict, it becomes clear that the struggle is not just about territorial control, but about addressing long-standing grievances. The historical context of the Biafran struggle for independence dates back to the Nigerian Civil War of the late 1960s, which left indelible marks on the nation's fabric. Despite the war ending decades ago, the scars and unresolved issues continue to fuel the quest for Biafran self-determination. Simon Ekpa's recent statements resonate with many Biafrans who feel marginalized and oppressed by the Nigerian state. His call to resist the indiscriminate violence perpetrated by security forces highlights a fundamental issue of human rights abuses. Ekpa urges his people to be cautious and avoid areas where they could become targets of such violence, reflecting a community under siege and desperate for safety. The banning of checkpoints in Biafra land, as declared by Ekpa, is a direct challenge to the Nigerian government's authority in the region. This move signifies a bold step towards asserting Biafran autonomy. Ekpa's claim that the Biafran government will neutralize Nigerian military armories in the region underscores the severity of the conflict and the lengths to which Biafran leaders are willing to go to protect their people and assert their independence. The incident in Aba, described by Ekpa as a false flag operation, adds another layer of complexity to the conflict. By suggesting that external enemies are orchestrating violence to discredit the Biafran movement, Ekpa introduces a narrative of external manipulation. This perspective shifts some of the blame away from internal actors and highlights the geopolitical dynamics that may be influencing the conflict. President Tinubu's stance on the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brings a critical dimension to the conflict. Kanu's imprisonment has been a flashpoint for protests and violence.
Olushola Diya for helping to de-escalate tension in the state and not embarking on a reprisal. Well, in the meantime, a video showing militants said to be part of a special unit of the Dragon Squad brandishing AK-47 rifles while celebrating after the tragedy on Biafra Day has gone viral.
Defend the Biafra land by making sure that those who come to kill them enforce the disappearance of their brothers and neutralize, and they go and start attacking innocent people. Is that the kind of system you want to support? For how long? No. But this has been the modus operandi of those who call themselves military.
This declaration comes in response to President Tinubu's controversial policy of reintegrating former terrorists into the national army and police, a move seen by many Biafrans as exacerbating their insecurity. A recent attack on soldiers in Abia State, on May 30th, 2024, further inflamed tensions. ECPA described this incident as a false flag operation orchestrated by enemies of the Southeast to discredit the Biafran cause. This claim suggests that